Don't you know we're just starting? But you sure we got the clue how that this we go. Don't you know no more art? And as you look to the horizon, not a cloud, but then stormy weather's go too cold. Seems like it crept up out of nowhere, all around you is not what you foretold. You never see it coming. You see that my mind is too fast for eyes. You're done, but the time is hit you, you're not surprised.
There. Who are you? Oh, mid. There. Who are you? Oh, mid. There. Who are you? Oh, mid.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is Dspnews, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newsroom and welcome to the Davetopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. No tagline. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Snort, Burnell, Dspgaming. Without me, they would have no one to laugh at. Now, let's be honest for just a second. If you guys have been watching the recent climate as it pertains to detractors, you're seeing a lot of crossover between certain people. Rich from Review Tech USA, Low Tier God, Wings of Redemption, a little bit of Boogie, some Mundane Matt. This thing is becoming something that, as a fan watching it for as long as I've been watching it, I didn't think I would really get to see. Not at the level that it's getting to, or that has gotten to, and where it's about to go. So I'm just wanting to establish that there's always going to be someone to laugh at. There's always going to be some locale online that can be laughed at and whatnot. That's going to continue to do stupid shit and think that for whatever reason they're on top of the world and no one can touch them. It is what it is. And if you guys have been paying attention to YouTube recently, as it pertains to Philly D or Phil DeFranco and the nonsense that he's been in, shouts out to Memology 101 and whatnot. If you've seen the shit that he's deep in, people are definitely, well, people are a bit more serious about it, but people are certainly taking the piss out of it as well. There's always going to be someone stupid on the internet, and there's always going to be people that are going to laugh at them, period. What sets Phil apart, what sets all four of those men that I named earlier apart, is they just keep doing dumb shit. Rich has been backing off a little bit. He's been backing off a little bit, but there's allegations against him. Got a video coming on that. But he's been backing off. Low Tier God is currently off of Twitch. There's speculation on whether Phil was behind that or not. We'll like I said, we'll keep reaching into that as time goes on. I want to see how that plays out a little bit. And then you got Wings, and Wings is forever doing something stupid. So Low Tier God, Wings of Redemption, and DSP are essentially the three kings of YouTube localing for the most part. There are others. So it is what it is. If you're gonna, especially for Phil, if you're gonna deny that you've done something, and then it gets drudged back up, and then you try to lie and say you didn't, then of course people are gonna laugh at you and point that shit out. It's just how it works. This is how the internet goes. Why not? You did it. You did it for a number of years. It's supposed to be entertainment, and you yourself are not entertaining anymore. What if you were ever entertaining at all? So it requires someone else to do it for you. It's just the natural order of things, if you will. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the animal kingdom. This is how it really works, and whatnot. So for Phil to sit there and be crying and bitching about this shit and basically holding his own little pity party in his personal hug box, it's kind of silly. But whatever. Let's get into the video. Let's see what points he tries to make. Let's laugh him up, and let's have a good time with it, because that's what we're all here for. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News, always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Network and Productions. You guys all know the slogan. It's time to watch me work.
Shit. That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
And I have to warn everyone,
Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
We have Genetic Gamer, who cheered and says, I don't understand why so many people spend their time hating on you. They tell anyone that wants to listen to them how bad you are, and it affects your livelihood and possible fan interactions. Do you think if detractors were in your shoes and were making a living from YouTube and Twitch, they would understand why their involvement is so hurtful to you? Yes.
That's all just white noise. You know what I mean? It's just white noise. And the bottom line is, I can understand, because I used to be one of these people who was very ignorant, and I used to make stupid statements about stuff I didn't understand, and it could possibly prove hurtful to certain people. All right?
Not to say that some of the things that I've
and yet you still do it. Now, here's the thing. If you were someone who put yourself in the position to do this whole online thing for money, right? And you know that it's a very volatile market. There's a whole lot of competition. You've been in decline for years, and then you talk shit about everybody. You lie about almost everything. You lie at times, and Tevin has pointed this out, Arjun has pointed this out, a lot of the greats have. He lies about stuff at times that it just doesn't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain shit, like, he lies about small shit that means nothing. It's almost like he lied just to lie. There is no end game to the lie. It's not setting up for something bigger. He just blatantly lied just to lie. And we're talking about something that happened like a day or two ago, and he'll lie about it and say it didn't happen, or this is what really happened, or people took it out of context. It's silly. It's really, really silly. It's like catching a kid in a lie, but it's a kid, so you let that shit slide. There is plenty of shit. Have any of you guys actually sat down and went through a pre-stream of his? Like the whole damn pre-stream, no, nothing funny added to it. Just listen to it. It's self-masturbation for the most part, but every once in a while you'll catch him lying about something that he did yesterday, or the day before, or those special little pre-streams that he does for his second stream at night that's never recorded unless a detractor catches it. You'll catch him every once in a while lying about something that he said during his first stream. Sometimes during the first pre-stream. And he just doesn't remember. Like, he'll say something, he says it in the moment, I've said this before, and then he just forgets about it. It's like it never happened. It's insane. It's insane to be able to lie like that and have no registry of it. Now, as it pertains to being in his shoes and whatnot, going back to my original point about being in his shoes, if this is so damn important to you, which it is, because this is his livelihood, then why don't you protect it? Why don't you do anything to better yourself and in turn, air quotes, better the business? This is your livelihood. In truth, what Phil Burnell is a beggar. With DSP, Darkside Phil, Dspgaming, he's a beggar. He's an e-beggar. That's what he is. That is his profession. That is his stock and trade. YouTube and Twitch are merely outlets for him to do so. That's it. Every once in a while, he may have, no pun intended, he may have a squirt of inspiration that might lead to something entertaining. Maybe. Depending on what your definition of entertainment is. But other than that, that's all he does. He's essentially an internet bully with no heart. And no strength. And lack of intimidation. Oh shit, he's not even a real bully. I don't know. He's a fake tough guy. He's a fake tough guy. That's all he is. Everything around him is fake. Everything around him is a delusion. And the sad thing is, everybody can see it except for the people who drink the Kool-Aid and himself. Jesus Christ. Even Charles Manson saw his own lies and understood it. But Phil can't. I'm sure that in the last couple of days, even David Koresh saw what his flaws were and the mistakes before the feds came in. Just saying. Yeah, I mean, every fucking psychopath and or sociopath can see their flaws in some way. In some way. But Phil himself believes he has no flaws. And if he does admit to them, he'll only do it momentarily so you can pay him for it because he was a good boy and he admitted he was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and stroke that pig, and then he'll move back on to going right back into his same old ways. DSP positive was a fucking joke. It was a joke from its onset. It never was rooted in anything. You can't just say, I'm positive, and then in turn, you're going to be positive. It doesn't work that way. But that's neither here nor there. Let's continue.
Unfairly were actually hurt by me. I'll give you an example. Minecraft. I never used to understand it. I used to make fun of it constantly, say that it sucked, say that it was only for kids, it was a terrible game, and I didn't get it, because I never played it, right? And for years I had this really just stupid hate towards Minecraft just because I was told by people, oh, it's a kiddie game, it's too popular, it doesn't deserve the popularity it has, yada, yada, yada. Well, guess what? Eventually I finally played it.
Okay, first things first. So, he admitted that he didn't play Minecraft, and he'd hated on it for years. He was right about that. Because other people told him that it was a kiddie game. Isn't this the same man, I use that term loosely, isn't this the same pig that tells his cult all the time to stop listening to what the haters say, stop listening to what the trolls say, have an individual thought, don't be sheep, don't let other people lead you, besides him? Isn't he the same person to say that? To not let other people influence your opinion about things? Obviously pertaining to him. But doesn't he say these things? And now he himself was essentially led out to pasture, and then eventually to the slaughterhouse, because he was too lazy, too stupid to sit there and actually play a game that he didn't understand. Which is basically, to be honest with you, it's the foundation. If not, it's the roots of ignorance. You don't understand something, so you immediately criticize it and you shit on it because you don't understand it and you don't want to take the time to understand it. It's different from what I'm used to. I don't get it at first glance, so immediately it must be something wrong with it. So all I have to do is attack. Sounds familiar, right? So this is what this idiot provides. This is what he does. He's a victim of the very thing he asks other people not to do. But then, when it's done to him, all of a sudden, oh, it's wrong. Oh, they should give me a chance. Oh, if they just took the time to actually get to know me. Oh, this, oh, that. Yet, you're the one who has 50, 60,000 plus videos online. Like, if someone wants to really get intimate with you, if you don't want to get in bed with them, ladies, you can obviously go ahead and you can binge watch his videos for half a day, and you can basically get an idea of what he is, because what he really is pretty consistent and it's pretty apparent. There is no hiding it, which is why people look at his fan base and are like, there's no way they're that stupid. There's no way that someone can't sit down and watch this person for an hour or two and not realize that he's a pretty shit individual. Even if you want to walk into this situation with the highest of hopes, eventually they're going to get dashed. It's just it is what it is. I'm sure the first time that him and Kat went to bed, I'm sure she was disappointed. I'm sure there's a reason why she's at the gym now with Jim, ladies and gentlemen, or Tyrone, or whoever. But so how is it that he could throw shots at people and yet he expects these shots not to get thrown back? And yet, especially when he's followed in the same footsteps of ignorance that he's led other people through, that he himself has rallied against, that's spoken out against, or has spoken out against, I'm sorry. Oh, let's continue.
Minecraft. And not to say that I fell in love with it, I didn't, but I definitely understood after playing it the hook that it could have, how it was addictive, how it was kind of chill fun, and how the game had multiple ways to play it. Sure, you could be all about the building, but you could also be about the exploration and digging, going into these caverns and looking for rare items, eventually getting into the ether, or neither, or whatever the hell it was called, fighting other kinds of enemies, and
Excuse me, I can answer that question. The reason why he still talks shit about Fortnite and the people who play it is he's bad at the game. To be honest, he is terrible at Fortnite. And so for him to stay face and justify how bad the game is, he has to reduce the game and the people who play it to the lowest common denominator. Oh, the game is childish. It's only for kiddies. Everybody who plays it has multicolored hair and spurg out like and whatnot. It's a joke. They only made it big because they're only marketing the kids. This, that, and the third. If Phil, for one, had good reaction, had good reflexes, and had some common sense and imagination, I know, ladies and gentlemen, that's a lot to ask, and some imagination, he might be decent at the game. He might be decent at the game. Now, the imagination aspect and common sense comes from the fact that if you're getting shot, right, take cover. For some reason, Phil just never picks that up. You see that in Call of Duty a lot. Or at least go prone and then and whatnot, so you're out of the line of sight, and then, you know what I'm saying, fall back. But that's neither here nor there. As it pertains to reflexes and reactions, he can't do anything about that. He has terrible eyesight. And on top of that, he didn't take care of himself. So in a first or third person type shooter, he's not going to do well. Yeah, he may catch the someone off guard. He may accidentally catch someone coming off of a flank. And for those who are asking, am I playing Black Ops 3? I am, actually. Myself and Kevin are. Agent GTG, he'll get on there eventually. And Kenny will get on there eventually. But yeah, we're playing it a little bit. It's alright. Multiplayer needs some work. I have some issues with multiplayer, to be honest. Blackout is fun. Multiplayer has some issues. I'll say that. Are they debilitating? No. But it could use some work. I'm sure they'll tighten up they'll tighten it up eventually, but it needs some work. It's doing all right. Is it Black Ops 2 though? It gives me like some of the nostalgia of it, but I don't know. It's all right. I'm not hating on it too much. Black Ops 2 will still be my all-time favorite Call of Duty game, but it's all right though. Well, Black Ops 1 maybe. I don't know. It's a combination of the two. Anyway, sorry. I'm getting off subject. He lacks the tools needed to be good at Fortnite. And more importantly than that, he's not willing to put the time in. It comes back down to the theory, right? It comes back down to the theory of what out-trumps what? Pure talent or hard work. And that's debatable, to be honest. Because you may not have the natural talent in something, but if you work hard at it, you can eventually be good at it. And may eventually be great at it. Whereas if you're just naturally talented, you can grasp it and then you hold it and then, you got it. The problem is with that is most people won't ever elevate to a higher level because they don't need to. Because they're already better than everyone else. So why strive to be great? Or no, why strive to go beyond great when you're already great and no one else can reach you? And then if you go on to the other side of that coin as it pertains to hard work and determination, one has to be willing to push through everything to obtain that and get there. And that takes a lot. Okay, we're going to go on a small detour. I'm sorry about this, but I have to because I'm itching to kind of make a video on it now that I'm thinking about it. If we're going to go into, let's jump into anime and manga for just a second. Let's use Naruto for a minute. I think that's probably a good example. And it's the difference between Neji and Rock Lee. Or really Rock Lee with it against anybody, the big three, I guess. Like him, Sasuke, or Naruto himself. Rock Lee does not have the God-given talent or abilities that other ninjas have. So he has to work like 10 times harder at what he can do. In turn, becoming a genius through sheer hard work, determination, and just the will to push forward, right? Where the other, Naruto maybe not so much, but Sasuke and Neji just have natural God-given talent. They're both geniuses. So each one only strive to become better because of the next opponent, whereas Rock Lee is striving to become better or become greater than himself because he sees what he has compared to everyone else, if that makes sense. Like, the drive to continue to push forward is all that he has. So he accepted that, and then he built upon that. Whereas everybody else, the sky was already the limit for them. The only thing they had to do was wait for that roadblock, which is usually an opponent that's stronger. And then they overcome that and keep going. Or they die trying. Sucked that Neji died. In any case, so you can look at it from that standpoint, I guess. Sorry about that. Kind of went off on a tangent.
Final boss in the game, right? So it was actually quite fun exploring the world of Minecraft and finally understanding what the hell it was all about. And then I kind of changed my tune, right? But I think the problem is these people who hate on me either don't know or don't care. They don't put themselves in the shoes of the person who they attack. Instead, they just attack. Oh, I don't like it for whatever reason, so attack, make shit up, be slanderous or defamatory, and make this person, vilify this person, make them look like a horrible person and a villain, so that newcomers won't check out their content. But they don't realize how concretely that hurts. It does, At one point, my YouTube channel was my sole source of my livelihood. I was able to get enough views and make enough money on the channel that's all I had to worry about. And then people basically turned it into, oh, Phil's the worst person on the internet. He's a terrible human being. Here's the reasons why, even though most of them were complete bullshit and falsehoods. A few of them based on nuggets of truth, of a few moments of weakness that I had over the years, and focused in as if that was the be-all and end-all of who I was, when in reality, I'm one of the most prolific gamers on the internet.
That's disgusting. Oh my god.
Okay, let's tackle some of that. So, first things first. Nobody destroyed his YouTube channel but him. Did a group of people possibly put a damper on some of his views? Yes, that's possible. Depending on how you look at it. Because it's kind of hard to say, oh, they screwed up his views when you were already in decline. It's kind of hard to say. So blaming detractors, haters, or trolls for a channel that was already in decline, and for an individual who made crazy amounts of money and didn't save a goddamn dime of it, is ignorant, to say the very least. It's dishonest for sure. As for preventing other people from going over there and checking out your content, I've never heard any individual say, don't go over there and watch Dark Side Phil. If you want to go over there and check it out for yourself, you can. But the thing is you don't necessarily have to, because the detractors have it right here. It's right in front of you. It's all there. You're hearing him talk without any manipulation. It's there. That's what he said. And when he said it. And in the context that allegedly was taken out of context. So you don't have to go anywhere else. It's just right there. More importantly than that, being a fan of Phil is like a job in itself, because of how he uploads, or how he used to upload, I should say. And who wants to go through that? People went through that for years. For years they told Phil, hey man, 20 and 30 videos a day is too goddamn much. Can you make the videos longer? Oh, I can't. My business depends on it. No. Said that shit for years. Now he has 3 or 4 hour videos on his channel that has like 20 fucking ad rolls on it. It's amazing how times have changed, yeah? So to blame people for a channel that was already in decline makes no sense. It's fucking dishonest, but it damn sure doesn't make any sense. And all it is just compensating for one's own faults. You were failing. You were failing. And your first thought was, it's all these people's fault. The same people that you pissed off over and over and over again, and you told them, if you don't like the content, fuck off. And they ended up coming back with a vengeance. That was your fault. Just like how people found your address, Phil. You dared people to come find you. So they did. Perfect example. Recently, and I mean recently, somebody decided to go ahead and call out Medicare on Twitter. Won't go into the details of what this idiot said, but this idiot basically decided to call Medicare out on Twitter by calling him what was something very slanderous. In turn, Medicare met him to the challenge. They went on the kill stream, and Medicare basically ate him for like 40 minutes. It might have been even an hour. It could have been longer than that. While all this was going on, while this idiot was spurging along about all of his dumb shit, saying that, oh, Metacri's this, Metacri's that, we don't know anything about him, how can you guys, why do you use your influence to do this, that, and the third? Just all silliness. People on the internet, actually, who were paying attention to the stream, started to actually really find out who this guy was. They found all of his accounts, which were completely public, and then someone made a Kiwis Farm thread on him. Then, all of a sudden, someone found out who he really was. Then put his address out there. Then put his job out there, because all this was linked to his public accounts. Which, why would you attach your job to your public account? It makes no sense to me. And in the span of him talking to Ralph, the Killstream, and Medicare, they put his whole life out there. Literally, within the span of like 15, 20 minutes, they knew everything about this guy. All of it. They had all of the websites he was associated with. They had his house. They had his job. They had the state he lived in. They had it all. I'm not going to put the guy's information out there, but they had everything. All of it. Because he wanted, as he said on the stream, to get Medicare's attention. And he got it. And he got a whole lot more than that. Same thing with Phil here. You dared people to come get you. You wanted attention. You wanted to be edgy. You wanted to be the realest guy on YouTube. Well, if you're real, then people are going to want to touch it. People are going to want to find out how real you are. And that's what happened. And apparently, it wasn't nothing hard about you. You were Twinkie feeling soft. And you got pressed. And that's why you're playing victim now. Because what happened to Philly Badass all those years ago, who used to call people fags and this, that, and the third, who used to treat his fan base like shit. You still treat your fan base like shit, but you're not as bold about it as you once were. You used to be blatant about that shit. Now all of a sudden you're begging the same people who were nothing more than peons to you for help. Now you need them. When back in the day you were independent and shit, I got this. Remember? Sitting there buying garbage that you didn't need, going on unnecessary trips and shit. Well, and yeah, I guess that's debatable. But going on unnecessary trips, renting cars when you had a car that you were already leasing for $400 that you never took to fucking get his oil changed. Why did you rent a car when you had a car already, a nice one? Take that bitch out, put some miles on it. No, you had the money to rent a car though, so I'll throw the money down on that. I'm good. You filled your life with all these things that you could have never had if it wasn't for the random luck opportunity that you were actually given, and you didn't appreciate it. That's why you didn't save anything. No one in their right mind would make that type of money for that long, for 3 or 4 years, and not realize that, you know what, this could all bottom out one day. I should probably save some of this. There are very few people in life who think that way. But you were one of those individuals. And you flaunted that shit in front of your fan base, in front of your friends, in front of your family. And then when all that went away, all of a sudden you reached your hooves out, to the very people you flaunted your success, air quotes on that, but your success in front of, and be like, I need your help now. When only a few years ago you were pissing in front of their faces, being like, ha, look at what I have. Look what I got. Look at everybody who loves me and gives me money. Look at all the money I'm making. That's why people shit on Phil. Well, that's one of the reasons, I should say. There's a whole lot more. But that's one of the reasons why people go after him. That's the reason why that's why people make videos on him. That's why people laugh at him. Because on his way up, he laughed at everybody who was below him. He even took shots at the guys who were above him. Because he thought he was that damn special. And now that he's literally tumbling down the hill like Homer, all of a sudden he needs everybody's help. All of a sudden everybody needs to rally around him. All of a sudden you guys need to stop attacking me because of my situation. Not thinking about what those people were going through. Dspnews.
Right? Some disgusting individual who constantly is doing terrible things, right?
Over 10 years now, I've been putting out daily content, over 60,000 gameplay videos, and more than likely, if you cherry pick certain moments, you can make anyone look bad, but I just have more content out than anyone else on the internet, so it's easier to do it to me. Okay?
Oh, no one told you to put your life out there like that. No one told you to use every aspect of your life for years to be exploited for money. No one told you that. No one told you that it was a good idea to put your personal life out there for profit. No one ever said that to you.
And it hurt me concretely to the point where, malicious attacks against me and my channel ended up making it so that my channel could not be profitable enough to keep stuff going. I had to diversify via things like Patreon and Twitch streaming. And now I'm more of a Twitch streamer than anything else, which is fine because I love it.
I may be living.
You should have done that from the beginning anyway, because a lot of people who were in a good position were doing that years before they had to. See, here's the thing. Phil, being over the 100,000 subscriber mark, he has a line to somebody at YouTube that he could talk to. Not just to run and cry to about certain shit as it pertains to his channel being hurt because of copyright strikes and whatever. And on top of that, now that I think about it, let's merge that a little bit. Not only did he have a direct line to YouTube for a minute, but he also was part of an MCN. An MCN that used to tell him that he had a line, that he had a person he could talk to. They used to tell him that, hey, you might want to switch up a little bit. Just because someone in the very beginning told you, hey, you can only do 10-minute videos, so you should make 10-minute videos. Even though you know that you can only do 10-minute videos, because that's what the only thing that the platform would allow him to do. Hence the reason why he has so much content. Back in his day, you could only do a 10 or 15-minute video. So that's what he did. So the MCN didn't have to tell him that. That was the rules. But as time went on, and as he started to decline, as the fanfare started to wane, and he could see that the money wasn't looking so good, obviously he panicked. Obviously he talked to somebody at Machinima, and Machinima told him, hey, you might want to consider making longer videos. And what did he do? He said something stupid like, well, you guys always told me to do this, and that. Can't you guys just do something on your end to boost me up? And they probably looked at him like he was a goddamn idiot and were like, no. You yourself, as the creator, needs to take steps to make your content better. We're not here to do that. And then on top of that, Phil, they already gave you those opportunities years ago. And you didn't take them. Because you thought that was going to take away from the content of your channel. The focus of your channel. When all they were trying to do was make you better. Make Phil great again. Hashtag, if you will. And you didn't want to listen to it because you thought you were so damn special the way you were going. Like I said, this is all karma. This was all bound to happen. This was written in the stars, Phil. Just like how it was written in the stars not to do Project 7. It was written in the stars that you were going to fail. Eventually. Eventually. And you didn't want to, and you saw it. You caught glimpses of it, but you didn't want to see it. You looked at it, but you didn't want to see it. And now it's all coming down on you. It's been coming down on you for a while. And as all the whales are gone, so now as the pay piggies continue to get turned into bacon and ham, you're running into some problems. You're running into some roadblocks. And you had opportunities to try to, in some ways, safeguard yourself. Patreon was one of them. Because I had said from, at least from when I started, that just because you're transitioning over there to Twitch doesn't mean that you can abandon YouTube and Patreon. You didn't abandon YouTube, so to speak, but Patreon was always linked to your YouTube. In the fact that, hey, I'm doing this special event, it's going to be, for YouTube, please support my Patreon. When you transitioned over to Twitch, that should have been the same deal. And you tried to do it, and then you started to get lazy. And then given the current lineup, you started doing these fundraising streams and these support streams or whatever silly ass name you want to give them, and all that crazy money started to roll through. Then you started not to paying attention to Twitch anymore. And then you started treating YouTube like the redheaded stepchild, quite literally. And then it just kind of bottomed out. And then all of a sudden you have the nerve to be like, then once you screwed up everything for yourself on Twitch, at least from that fundraising scheme, they let you get away with it once or twice, and you delved in just a little too much. You know what I'm saying? You went to the well just one time too often, and they were like, hey, Phil, you gotta shut that down. You can't do that no more. Now all of a sudden back to Patreon. Like, what you do is so goddamn hard that you can't multitask. Actually, didn't he do a video about multitasking, I think? I think he did. I think you did. So, eventually I'm going to have to tackle that one too. Can't wait to dissect that one. But this is all of his own doing. He did it to himself. And this was years in the making, ladies and gentlemen. This didn't happen overnight. This is the fascinating aspects of the pig roach. Is his decline is recorded. You know what I'm saying? You can trace it back and whatnot, and you can watch it. And that's what we're gonna do with Gout and Wine and Wine and Doubt. You know what I'm saying? Back in time, DSP archives, they're great because you get to go back and you get to see old Phil, and you see at times where he just did really stupid shit, or him making just dumbass mistakes, or you can just see how he was before he became what he is. But we're gonna delve into that too. We're gonna go ahead, you know what I'm saying, put our toes in the water and whatnot. Hopefully it's gonna be fun. We're not gonna go back though as far as those two individuals. We're gonna go back to last year, and then the year before that, and then the year before that. It's gonna be a gradual process because his 2017, 2016, 2015, oh boy, there's all kinds of yummy little tidbits in there, if you will. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be pork kebabs for everybody. I hope you're hungry, and I hope you're ready. I hope you're excited. I'm feeling that groove back. I'm getting that vibe back. I hope fun stuff is going to happen. I hope you guys are excited too. DSP News.
Month to month, paycheck to paycheck, begging for fucking tips and shit on stream for the rest of my life. And I love it. I love doing this for a living.
You know, I actually love being more interactive with you guys than just making a video, an impersonal video for YouTube where I'm just kind of playing the game and ignoring everything else around me. I love the interactions and the fun experiences that we have here on Twitch. But you're absolutely right, Genetic Gamer. If these people would just put themselves in my shoes and understand what they're doing, they probably would have some actual moral feelings and not do it. The problem is they don't. They're immature people. It doesn't matter how old they are. Maturity isn't something that necessarily comes with age. It comes with wisdom. Okay? And unless you're wise and you've been through an experience where you understand how this kind of stuff can affect you, you don't necessarily get it.
And I get the feeling a lot of the people who hate me and constantly make a living.
Wait. Okay. Oh boy. What? Okay, first things first. As it pertains to the concept of wisdom, wisdom comes through experience. Experience comes through time. That means you have to age for that to happen. Now, everybody can be... Now, some people do come up like Phil and just don't fucking learn anything and basically just slough their way through life. And if that's what he wanted to do, that's what he did. But for everybody else, there's common sense. So, in turn, it's through your experiences and observing other people's experiences is where you pick up knowledge, which in turn turns into wisdom. Phil fucked that all up. I don't know how he fucked up explaining that, but he screwed that all up. As it pertains to putting myself in your shoes, why do I need to put on your New Balances to experience failure? I don't understand that. Actually, if you want to talk about wisdom, wisdom is watching what you do and just doing the opposite of it. Period. Now, keep in mind, I'm still going to make my mistakes. You're going to still make your mistakes. He's going to always make mistakes. And that is what it is. And you can learn from that. The difference between you, me, and him is you and I can make a mistake. And you reflect on it, you learn from it, and you move forward. Phil will make that same mistake 4 or 5 times until a couple hundred people are laughing at him about it. Well, a couple thousand people actually are laughing at him about it. And then all of a sudden, oh, you guys are wrong for doing that. And then he'll correct it. But he only corrects it. He only corrects it when the backlash comes at him. When a new internet meme is made about him, then all of a sudden he wants to try to correct the mistake. Instead of just keep doing it over and fucking over again. This is what this man brings to the table. And he just refuses to learn. As long as... Let me put it to you this way. As long as someone's willing to clean up Phil's shit for him, he'll continue to shit. Pure and simple. At least that's the way I see it. As long as someone's willing to pay Phil's bills for him, he'll keep asking them to do it. As long as he can find someone vulnerable in his fan base, he'll keep exploiting them, whether physically or online or financially or whatever the case may be. He is a predator. Not a very good one, not a very smart one, somewhat resilient, but that's what he is. He's someone who takes advantage of the good graces of other people, knowingly. And he continues to do so because he's gotten away with it for so long. That is what he is at his base. At the roots of him as an individual.
Hating on me don't understand the repercussions of their actions. If I were to ever go away, what would these people do with their lives? They'd have no one else to make fun of.
Whoa. Oh, you silly pig. There's always going to be someone to laugh at on the internet, ladies and gentlemen. The internet will provide, okay? The internet will always provide someone to be laughed at. As long as there is someone or a group of people who are willing to go on the internet and show their ass for popularity or for money or for some type of self-fulfillment, there'll be people there to laugh at them. As long as there are people who aren't exercising common sense, there will be people to point that shit out. And when those people spurg out, people will be there to laugh at him. Phil has been around for a long time. He spent a decade online. You know what I'm saying? He is... There are very few image boards or threads who don't have a dark side Phil thread. Some of them are larger than others, but it is what it is. That's how woven in to low-calling and to memeing up and to just internet stupidity that Phil is. Just imagine that. He talks about his 50, 60,000 videos, but all of that is overshadowed by the stupidity that he's done and by the people who point that shit out. And that's what Phil hates. See, if Phil could go through life screwing people over, taking advantage of people, and no one calling him out, he would continue to do it. Because what's the repercussions? The only reason why Phil's mad that people basically clown him and ridicule him and all that shit is because it hurts his bottom line. It's one less kid to take advantage of. It's one less idiot with deep pockets that he can go ahead and get his hands on. That's it. He doesn't care about the individual. He doesn't care about the long-term repercussions for them. It's all about his bottom line and his bottom dollar. And that's why we cook pig butt around here. It's delicious. And it's plentiful. And unlike Phil, we actually have vegetables over here and fruit. It's nutritious. Because if you don't do that, you get gout. And no one wants gout. Just saying.
What? Man, I'm stupid. That was great.
Safe zone evac orders are in effect.
Give me a second. I can't stop laughing. I've become a meme on the internet that it's fun to make fun of Phil.
You know, and it just sucks that, you know, I know for a fact if I didn't have all these negative people constantly shitting on me, that I probably would have much more of a positive influence. People would be coming in and checking out the streams and giving them a chance. And
Fuck you. You're a liar.
I actually looked the other day, and it says that on Twitch, probably about 15 to 20% of my viewing audience are people who just come in casually to watch my stuff. They're just searching for a game on Twitch, and they jump in and watch me play, and wow, this is pretty cool. Versus on YouTube, it's like, I'm not even kidding you, like 4%. So 4% versus 20%, only because on YouTube, I'm so vilified by these fucking people, I don't get that natural influx of new viewers anymore. They just don't exist. A newcomer will not check out Dspgaming, because when they see my video, they see 20 related videos saying I'm a horrible person.
You think I'm the villain?
Really? Well, I thought it might be because when they come to Dspgaming, there's no comment section. Sometimes the likes and dislikes are disabled, and the video itself is trash. I thought those three things might be the major problem. I could be wrong. I just thought those were the three issues. Because what's the point of going to a video if you can't interact with it? When you want to, I should say. Not everybody who's going to come to your video is going to leave a comment. Or even leave a like and a dislike. Which is fine. But what about when they finally want to? Or when they finally decide to? They can't. So then your video is kind of useless. and then you block everybody on Twitter who has even a small criticism of you. So that's kind of useless. And let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, the the what's it called, darksidephil@hotmail.com is the equivalent to what may or may not be a legendary folder that we have here at on a GTG network hard drive that has just an amazing smorgasbord of just delicious ladies on it. It's a legend though. It's only been hinted that it exists. It may not be. Some people call it the void. Some people call it the thirsty well of knowledge. Some people call it the bootylicious booty list of booties. They call it a lot of things, but no one knows if it exists. It's like Shangri-La. Some people think they've seen it, but no one really knows. Just saying.
Go fuck yourself. Sorry for fucking what?
You know, and that sucks. But that's because YouTube is a toxic environment while Twitch is not. But yeah, I fully believe that if these people would mature up and actually put themselves in my shoes, they would not do what they do. But that's the thing. They just live in this world of ignorance and immaturity. And let's face it, the things they do are ignorant and immature. That's how they get popular, because they latch on to other immature people. And they create these entire communities of people who feel like deriding someone or talking shit about someone is great. It's positive. It's productive and fun. When in reality, it's some of the most toxic shit you could do with your life. And if you just had something positive to focus on yourself, you probably wouldn't be doing that toxic shit to begin with. Okay?
This guy constantly whining. Wah. Shut the fuck up. God damn. Wah. Oh my god.
He makes it sound like people are running 24-hour ops on him and shit. Like it's not even the case. Not even the case. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine if I did 3 videos a day. Just imagine I did 3 videos a day, every day on Phil for a year. You would never see any of his videos. Ever. Like, I would kill him in the algorithm. So, that's just me. Now, just imagine if Tevin got back into the mix. Imagine if Argent. Imagine if James the Lesser. Imagine if Jackal's Lair. Imagine if Snort, Burnell, Mr. Huffstuffs, Volt Boy. Imagine Mighty D. Imagine every detractor. Let's do this. Let's do this. Just imagine every detractor for a year doing that. But let's go back to something a bit more practical. Just imagine if every detractor for a week made 3 videos a day on Phil. On whatever nonsense he's doing. 3 videos a day. For a week. A week! He'd be screwed. He'd be royally screwed on YouTube. Like, he's just now getting himself back into the algorithm because he's an idiot and he went ahead and got rid of his related videos, and like I said, he still has the comments gone, and sometimes the likes and dislikes are disabled. So he's already screwing himself. So just imagine if a group of people for a week decided to make 3 videos a day on him. That would fuck him up on YouTube for months. For months, it would leave him screwed up, and nobody ain't got time for that. I barely can get a video out 5 days a week, let alone am I going to do 3 videos a day on him for a week. This is not enough time in a day. There could be, but there's just not. So it is what it is. Just imagine that, Phil. You want to talk about your worst possible nightmare and shit. You want to talk about shit really getting bad for you. Imagine that. Imagine a small cabal of people willing for a week to all make videos on you 3 times a day. Oh boy. I'm not dog whistling or anything, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying. Oh boy. Oh boy. Dspnews.
YouTube is full of Assassin's Creed Odyssey spoilers. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, it sucks, because what people do now is they try to make... I've noticed this recently. They try to make controversial video titles with spoilers to get people to click. It's clickbait. And it's stupid as fuck, you know? It's like, you know, the most controversial scene in the game, and then the thumbnail spoils something in the game. It's like, what the fuck? Like, come on, man. And I've noticed this recently. This has been a trend on YouTube where people are playing games early and taking the big plot twists and stuff and making it a separate video with the spoilers and shit in the tags and in the title to try to get people to click. And it's annoying as shit. You know, when I do my playthrough...
But yet again, as Snort Burnell said, he's done that himself. He's done that plenty of times. If Phil could figure out how to play the system, how to get over on the system, he would. He would. And he just never, and the thing is he'll do it for a little while, and then he sees how much work it requires, and then he abandons it. Look at KO Gaming. KO Gaming is the ultimate example of him having an idea, and all he had to do was have basically the work ethic to stick with it, and he couldn't. It was too much work. It was taken away from this, that, and the third. And eventually, nothing got done. It's proof positive. So much so, in fact, ladies and gentlemen, that he was able to convince other people to do the work for him. And all he has to do is take their videos, download it, and then upload it, then go ahead and throw it in Premiere or whatever his editing software was, add his title to it, and then put it up on the site. And he didn't do it. He has like 40 or 50 videos on some hard drive somewhere, part of the community submissions program or whatever it was called, where people were able to make videos for Phil, and he would upload it to KO Gaming, and all he has to do is give them credit, and he didn't do it. Why? One, he's lazy. Two, I don't think he wanted to give other people credit. I don't think he wanted to give other people any type of shine for a rather new channel, a really young channel. He didn't want someone else to eat off of his popularity, if you want to call it that, of KO Gaming. And that's why he never did it. I think he only put up a couple of videos and that was it. And some would say, and it's fair to say, that the videos weren't getting the clicks that he wanted them to. They weren't being viewed as well as he would want them to. So he's not making any real money off them. So he was just like, why would I bother? Now imagine that, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine I make a channel and I say, this right here is completely fan submitted. You guys send me your video. I will upload it onto this channel and whatnot. I'm not going to monetize it because I'm definitely too lazy for that. I don't monetize anything here, so I'm definitely going to be too lazy to do it somewhere else. But I would put your video up on a channel, and all I do is link your channel in the description or in the end cards or whatever the case may be. That's it. So imagine me getting 200 videos and putting up, I don't know, 2 videos a day would probably be practical. All I have to do is upload it up to the channel, put your information in the description, and in the first post of who you are, where your channel can be found at, and this is your video that we're basically uploading. That's it. And that right there is all Phil essentially had to do, except for throw his own custom intro on it, and that was it. And he was too lazy to do that. Imagine that. Imagine people who worked 4 hours or 3 hours on a video, send it to you, and they never see it go up on your channel. Seems rather disheartening, doesn't it? And yet, that's what Phil did.
I title the videos. I try not to do too many spoilers in the title of the videos, but when I do, you can see, oh, Assassin's Creed Part 42. Okay, I'm not going to read this one or look at it because it might be a spoiler. Versus, oh, the whole point of my video was to spoil something for you. You know what I mean? Pretty annoying. But hey, that's YouTube for you.
Ow! Why'd you do that? Why did you do that? Why'd you just go to bite mommy? Wow. Alright, so you see what pigs can do.
Wow, my keyboard is now working very well. It's dropping like every first button input it's not doing, and I have to go back and retype the letter. I'm probably going to eventually have to get a new keyboard here. Oh, I did it again.
Okay, here we go. Let me jump in on this for a minute, because watching one of Tevin's Back in Time videos actually brought all this up. He has a closet full of keyboards. Phil himself has said this. He has a closet full of keyboards. Connect one of those to that fucking piece of shit laptop, and you're good to go. Or to your desktop, whichever one he's on, and you've got this. This is all taken care of. But he wants the fancy one though. He wants one of those nice wireless ones like what we have here in the newsroom and whatnot, to where it's super convenient and he doesn't have to go nowhere. He wants one of those. He wants an $80 keyboard that he's not going to use for anything strenuous. That's what he wants. And he keeps doing these stupid little hints, meaning that people are going to contribute money to it, but it'll never go to that keyboard. Ever. It'll never go to that keyboard. And then one day out of the blue, oh guys, I was donated this keyboard. I was donated this keyboard and mouse combo. Isn't it great? Yeah, man, take a look at it. It's great. This person anonymously sent me the money for it, and I went ahead and bought the nicest one I could find at Best Buy. It's like $200. Don't really need a $200 one. I'd probably be good with like a $20, $30 one. But yay, ladies and gentlemen, it's $200. We're doing everything we can here and whatnot to update all of our equipment to bring you guys a better stream. He's just gonna peddle that same bullshit over and over again, just like the PS4 Pro and the TV, which it's obvious that he bought all of that with his own money, or at least with money that he was supposed to use for bills, or whatever the case may be. It's very obvious. So sad. So sad.
Two. And it dropped. What the fuck? It dropped the one. This keyboard is dying on me. I'm probably going to need a new one soon, although I really don't have any money for anything, but I guess we'll see if I have to get a new. Maybe I can get it. You know what? Maybe I can get a real cheap one on Amazon or something. Give me your money.
My new TV is pretty nice. Has a lot of, like just really cool features. It very quickly can zoom in and change modes and do stuff. My other TV used to be a pain in the ass. You had to go through a ton of menus and shit. My new TV, this TCL, is good. I recommend this TCL. It's really good. The response time is better than my old TV. It's easy to navigate the menus. The controller's useful. I like this TV.
$300 on Amazon. It was a good fucking purchase, man. I hate this fucking stage with a passion. It's the most annoying stage so far. Okay, I've had enough. I timed you out, someone untimed you out, now you're banned, Majin Buu. You're just gonna sit here complaining the whole fucking time I'm playing the game, then you can sit outside like a little fucking child and stop fucking spamming the chat with your negativity. We're trying to enjoy a fucking game, not see you sit here and cry like a baby. Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to concentrate on the fucking game. I look at the chat, this guy constantly whining. Wah. Shut the fuck up. God damn. Why am I toxic? More toxic. Yep, I'm toxic. Cat, you need to get out now. That place is toxic. Go do your own fucking stream then. Jesus Christ. Bill, use the
and then he cries about low stream attendance. It's amazing.
Yeah, but he's still dying. Oh my god.
All you're getting is salt. It's even now, again, my mouth overpowered with salt flavor.
Phil used the game mechanics that were put into the game by the game developers to win, rather than giving himself the entire playthrough. It's the Dark Souls philosophy from a fucking idiot, is exactly what it is. You use the things that were put into the game to beat the game, but it makes the game easier. That's not right. We wanted to see you have pain for hours on end. So fuck you, Phil. This playthrough sucks. No, you suck. You're an asshole. Shut the fuck up. God damn. Elitist, entitled fucking attitude. The worst you could possibly fucking have.
Now, real quick. This is why he left Twitch the first time around. Tevin pointed this out. That he felt that the fan base was asking too much of him, and they were... Actually, he says they were demanding too much of him. And that's why he left. He felt like the fan base had too much control. So he gave up on... And, well, that and he wasn't making no money over there. That's the most important part. That he wasn't making no money over there. So he ends up abandoning Twitch and then coming back to YouTube. Now, look at this. After that little bit that you've heard, only about a minute or two, if you were someone new coming to his channel, do you really want to hear that shit? Do you really want to hear some 36-year-old spouting off at the mouth like one of these fucking 12 or 13-year-olds on Twitch crying about a game they're getting their ass handed to? Is this really what you want to hear from this fucking grown-ass man? No. And then he's not even entertaining about it. He just sounds like some grumpy old bitch. I'm sorry. Go ahead and change your depends and get back to work. This shit isn't hard. He's got the easiest job in the world, if you want to call it a job, and yet he's still fucking it up. Amazing.
I'm not a whiny baby. I'm a mature adult. And I'm not a children's entertainer. And if I look down at the stream chat and everything is tut, 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 tut. It's going to be ban, 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 and then we're going to continue on like normal fucking humans and not idiots. What pasta do you prefer? I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. Phil's a racist.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. One more thing before we wrap this up. This idiot can't remember what he said the day before. And yet, he can remember every troll comment from every individual person on his Twitch chat. By name. By name, he can remember all these people. And I'm not talking about just a few minutes ago. Not last night. Not the day before that. I'm talking about he can remember that shit from weeks back. Something rather trollish that Papa Colo said. Or some shit. Or some shit that that Swaggins may have joked about like a month ago. He can remember all of that shit to the detail. But yet he can't remember the blatant lie. Or just some of the dumb shit that he spewed literally a couple hours ago. And it's because of that you have people like Dragon Killer on Twitter who fucking documents all that shit so you don't ever forget. Just because this idiot forgets doesn't mean you should. It's fucking amazing how he can... That's how his mind prioritizes shit. But that's neither here nor there. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been kind of fun. It's been kind of fun to point Phil's dumb shit out. But it's just another day in the life, to be honest. It's just a day in the life. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dspnews. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Network and Productions. I am your host, /anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. And fucking idiot, man. It's amazing. Oh my god. In the broadcast. Oh my god. It's so silly. That's why it's easy to laugh at him. You make it... You pretty much do the job for yourself. It's just you can't capitalize. Absolutely amazing.
You talk like a radical, but you live like a rich guy.
It's a perfect combination. The radical may fight the purity of Jesus, but the rich guy wins with the cunning of Satan.